Thank you, everyone. Thank you to our amazing audience and the amazing pool of speakers. What I want to share with you today, the importance of being authentic. What does it mean to be authentic? This is not a word that we're using every day in our life. Speaking about authenticity is something that is really familiar to the people who are doing this intentional, conscious inner work. Usually the leaders of the heart, the mind, this sounds very poetic, but I mean soul-led, heart-led entrepreneurs, coaches, therapists, healers, people who want to impact positively the lives of many people and the world as a whole. They start working with authenticity. They start working with the concepts of deeper self-awareness, raising their consciousness, raising their vibration. But if we have to simplify it, to be authentic means to be who you are. And it sounds so simple to be who you are, but can we allow ourselves, can we afford to be who we are in our daily lives? We have to wear many masks because of our different social interactions. We have to adapt to different situations, but it's really important. And I believe that you will support me when I say that once you start cultivating this inner trust, this self-love, when you start getting to know yourself better, to realize what really matters to you, what are your driving forces, what are your values, then you can start allowing more of your true self to emerge, even in your day-to-day interactions or business interactions. And how can you do that? Because we trust that we have this intrinsic value, because we learn to distinguish between the expectations of others and our true internal drives. And being authentic means also to stepping out of predefined models, from predefined structures. I have to say that, and this might sound controversial to some people here, that I don't like vision boards. Why I don't like vision boards? Because they don't feel authentic to me. Because when I create a vision board and start working towards realizing it, I may find myself that I have already evolved, and this vision board doesn't doesn't feel authentic to me anymore, because I'm a person, I'm a human, I'm a being of constantly developing and constantly growing. So check on what and how you can make vision boards work for you, and maybe you can create them in a different way, not simply putting very particular things, a particular brand of your car or a particular look of your house. And I have found even myself listening to some guided visualizations about how to dream, to define the ideal life for myself when I'm setting my intentions for the future. When I listen to this very famous, I'm not going to say names, very, very famous spiritual teachers saying, and you're stepping out of this huge alley and you see the iron cast gate, it didn't resonate with me, because this is not my reality that I'm dreaming. So instead, I like to invite things that are authentic to me. How would I feel? I would feel excited. I would feel comfortable. I would feel accepted. So this is one aspect of authenticity, connecting first with what works for you, and connecting with it in any aspect of your life. And it takes time and it takes practice, and it's not easy, because we don't learn these things at school. We don't learn them in our families. Last week, is it last week? Yeah, exactly 1 week ago, I was invited to give a talk to 11-year-old children from the class of my school, of my son's at school, in the class of my son. And the topic was human virtues and values. And it was so interesting. I felt that the children were kind of lost halfway while I was giving them the definitions. But when I started creating maps on the whiteboard, and I showed them how putting the values together, they can create their inner compass, they really started getting engaged in the conversation. And at the last part of our talk, I started asking them, what is it that you want to see more in your family and more into the relationship and at school? Then they really started speaking truthfully, sharing their personal challenges, sharing their dreams. So they stopped overthinking. They stopped. They stopped the expectations of what would sound good to the teacher or to me. They immersed themselves in the moment, and they were truthful, they were real, they were authentic. And these are things that we also learn when we start practicing meditation. I've been practicing meditation since 1995, and I've done so many different types. The most impactful for me were working with the body, and this is what I also use a lot in my work as a clarity and confidence coach, but also I'm engaging somatic experiences and I'm working with the emotions. When we're present in the moment, we have the bigger chance to be authentic because we detach ourselves from the future expectations and fears, as well as from the past negative experiences. And when we're here, then we are truthful, then we are real when we are in this moment. But this is not a natural state. Our natural state is to be jumping, to have this yo-yo between the past and the future, because this is the way to survive. And we have to train our brain, we have to rewire our brain so that we learn to be in the present moment, to draw from our truthful, true power. And I can share one really powerful tool with you that I'm using always when I start either coaching session or healing session. I'm using the emotion code. I'm using the compassion key practice, along with many other tools to balance the emotions, the mind, the heart, the intuition. I would like to invite you to stop for a moment, and please don't do it if you're driving now, because you may be listening to us while you're in the car, to connect with your body, to touch, maybe to rub your arms, to feel the support of the chair or the sofa beneath you. Place your feet on the ground. Close your eyes if it works with you, and with one hand on the heart and the other on the belly, feel how your body is expanding and then contracting with the breath. Take a breath gently in, and very gently out. And very gently in again. And on the breathing out, intend to release everything that doesn't serve you. And when you do it 1, 2, 3 times, you will notice that your busy thought process starts slowing down, because you're giving a task to your mind to do something, to control a process that is not an usual process. So this is connecting with you, connecting with who you are at this very moment, being very authentic in the breathing. The breathing is not a forced process. The breathing is an automatic process, and you're connecting with something that is already existing without any control, without forcing to do anything. So find this type of tricks or hooks or traps to teach your mind to be present, to teach your mind to be here and now, and then you will feel that you are creating more space inside of you. You're getting rid of some critical thoughts, of some critical voices, and when you start recognizing also the critical voices, you start you can learn to start working with them. This is a big thing that stops us from showing up is who we are, because we expect to be judged, we expect to fail, we are basing these expectations in our past, sometimes traumatic experiences, and this is also determining our future. And I'm really passionate about teaching people to accept every part of themselves, including the critical inner voices. That's why one of my processes was called Befriend Your Inner Critic, because these are aspects of our internal dialogue or monologue. And when we learn to accept ourselves in our complexity, in our wholeness, then we learn to receive the hidden information, the useful messages, and also to balance, to counteract the negative impact, because these voices are mechanism to prevent us from suffering. They're survival mechanisms. And when we recognize that, when we learn what are the messages, what is the information that we can extract from them, then we can learn how to move forward despite the fears, with the fears. And we can learn to look also in the people around us, to mirror ourselves in them, and our life becomes so much richer, so much more colorful, and there is so much more hope that can become a drive for us to be moving forward. So I'm really passionate about all these topics: authenticity, self-trust, purpose, creation, co-creation. These actually are some of my core values, so I can talk forever on that, but I'd like now to stop and to invite you to a free training that I'm doing next week. And I know that this is a time sensitive invitation that might not be available when you watch the replay, but you can always check this barcode behind me and you see what are the new things that I'm offering to people. On this masterclass, I will be, the title is Bold and Visible, 3 steps to show up without fears. And it's intended to people who really want to make impact in the world, to find their inner courage, to find their inner strength, and learn how to start showing up, not just for themselves, but also for the world around us. So let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to connect with me. And I'm really excited to be part both of the team at Global Speakers Talk, as well as of this amazing community of transformational, inspirational speakers. Thank you so much.